Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Sister Wives universe has been rocked by countless scandals, betrayals, heartbreaks, and shocking twists over the years. But nothing has hit fans harder than the stunning revelation that Kody Brown, the once boastful patriarch of the plural family, has been hospitalized with cancer, leaving his health, future, and entire family legacy hanging in the balance, while simultaneously fueling even darker whispers that Robyn Brown, the wife often accused of manipulating him and tearing the original family apart, has taken advantage of his vulnerable state to snatch up the highly controversial Kody Pass property deeds, effectively consolidating control of everything the family ever built under her own name and sparking outrage from both viewers and the other wives who feel utterly betrayed, abandoned, and robbed of their rightful share in the land they once dreamed of developing into a family compound where everyone could live in unity, a dream that now lies shattered under the weight of greed, illness, and long-simmering resentments that have finally boiled over in the most devastating way possible, because Kody's cancer diagnosis did not just blindside him but also expose the crumbling foundations of a family that has been disintegrating piece by piece in front of the cameras, with Mary, Janelle, and Christine long gone from the marriage but still deeply invested in the fate of the land, the finances, and the legacy. And as Kody lay in the hospital bed, weakened, thinner, his once fiery mane dulled by illness, Robyn allegedly wasted no time securing signatures, leveraging his trust, and making legal maneuvers to ensure that her name was prioritized on property ownership documents, which has sent shockwaves through the fandom who believe she has been scheming for years to cut the other wives out, with some insiders even alleging that she rushed to lawyers before Kody's official diagnosis was released to the family, fearing that his condition might deteriorate quickly and leave her with nothing if the courts recognize the other wives' claims. And now whispers grow louder that this is not just a health crisis, but also the ultimate betrayal that could tear apart what remains of the Brown family's fragile connection, because while fans send prayers and well wishes for Kody's recovery, they cannot ignore the troubling possibility that his weakest moment has been turned into Robyn's greatest opportunity, and that she may be taking steps that are not just selfish but downright predatory, especially considering how many times Kody reassured Janelle and Christine in the past that they would all have equal shares of Kody Pass and that no one wife would ever be left out, promises that now seem laughably hollow in light of the scandal. And Janelle, who once said she left her marriage with nothing, is reportedly furious that even after all her sacrifices and years of loyalty, Robyn is maneuvering to leave her completely excluded from the land she helped pay for, while Christine, who has already rebuilt her life in Utah, has expressed both heartbreak and relief. Heartbreak that the man she once loved is now battling cancer, but relief that she is no longer tangled in the financial mess Robyn has allegedly created. Yet Mary, who stayed loyal far longer than most fans expected, is said to be utterly devastated, not only at the possibility of losing Kody, but also at the betrayal of realizing that she too may have no legal claim to the property that was once supposed to represent her family's future. And viewers can't help but note the irony that the same Kody Pass land that was hyped for nearly a decade as the symbol of unity has instead become the greatest source of division, betrayal, and bitterness, with Kody's declining health only adding urgency and drama to the question of what will happen next. Because if he does not recover, the fate of both his legacy and his relationships rests in the hands of a wife many believe orchestrated the downfall of the family in the first place, which makes the situation feel less like a tragedy and more like the final act of a Greek drama, where hubris, betrayal, and misplaced loyalty lead to a downfall so spectacular that fans cannot look away. And as reports of Kody's hospitalization circulate, speculation grows online that TLC cameras may be rolling on all of this, potentially capturing not only the heartbreaking reality of Kody's cancer journey, but also the explosive fallout of Robyn's alleged land grab, a storyline that would be both devastating and riveting television. And though fans are divided, some sending sympathy to Robyn for potentially facing widowhood, others slamming her as a vulture circling Kody's hospital bed, The overwhelming consensus is that this latest chapter in the Sister Wives saga marks a point of no return, where the fractures are too deep to ever be mended, and where the legacy of Kody Brown may not be one of plural unity, but rather of sickness, betrayal, and greed, leaving fans to ask whether Kody's illness might finally expose the truth of Robyn's intentions and whether justice, either legal or karmic, will ensure that she cannot simply walk away with everything while the other wives are left with nothing but memories of a family dream that died long before Kody's diagnosis. Because at the end of the day, the story of Kody's cancer and Robyn's alleged theft of property deeds is not just about one man's health crisis or one woman's alleged scheme. It is about the collapse of trust, the erosion of family, and the cruel irony that even in sickness, the battles over money, land, and control can overshadow love, loyalty, and compassion, and unless something changes dramatically, it seems this is the final nail in the coffin of the sister wives' dream, a coffin that, tragically, may also come to symbolize Kody's own mortality. The aftermath of Kody's hospitalization has become one of the darkest chapters in Sister Wives history, and the whispers about Robyn's behavior in the shadows have only intensified as more alleged details leak from insiders who claim to have witnessed her rushing to secure legal papers while the other wives were still processing the devastating news of Kody's cancer. An act that many fans view as the ultimate betrayal of not just Kody, but of the family dream they once built together, because while Kody was hooked up to IVs, undergoing rounds of testing, and reportedly preparing for an aggressive treatment plan, Robyn was allegedly more concerned about paperwork, deed transfers, and consolidating power, which has sparked outrage from both Janelle and Mary, who feel that years of their loyalty and financial contributions are being erased in the blink of an eye. And what makes this scandal sting even more is the fact that Kody, throughout all of seasons 17 and 18, was shown emphasizing the importance of Coyote Pass, insisting that one day it would unite the family in peace and stability. But now that dream seems to have been hijacked at the very moment when he is too sick to defend it, and fans are openly questioning whether Robyn had been plotting this for years, biding her time until Kody's illness gave her the perfect cover to act, and whether Kody, weakened and vulnerable, may have even been manipulated into signing documents he did not fully understand while under duress, a possibility that terrifies those who still believe in fairness and justice for the original wives, because the law can be cold, and if Robyn's name ends up on all the deeds, it could mean the rest of the family has little to no recourse to reclaim their shares, unless they are prepared to launch legal battles of their own, something Janelle has reportedly considered, but worries might tarnish Kody's final months if his condition worsens, while Christine, though distanced from the drama in Utah, is said to be urging the others to fight for what they are owed, especially since she spent years watching Robyn manipulate situations behind the scenes, often to her advantage, and the fans, many of whom have despised Robyn for years, see this as her mask-off moment. The one where her true intentions are fully exposed, because even those who once defended her as simply being in love with Kody can no longer explain away the timing of her alleged moves, happening right as his health crisis spiraled, and in the court of public opinion, Robyn is now cemented as the villain, a role she once denied but which fits neatly with the image of her walking into lawyers' offices while her husband lies sick in the hospital, and meanwhile, Kody himself is in the middle of a battle not only for his life but for his legacy, reportedly facing grueling chemotherapy and emotional breakdowns as he realizes that his grand plural marriage experiment has not only failed but has left him in a position where the wives he pushed away may now be his only hope for emotional support, and yet the one who holds all the legal power, Robyn, is the one most accused of betraying him. A cruel twist that makes fans wonder if Kody himself regrets putting all his eggs in one basket and cutting off Mary, Christine, and Janelle in favor of Robyn, because now, when he is most vulnerable, she is the one accused of circling like a hawk over land deeds, financial accounts, and inheritance rights, and though TLC has not confirmed whether the cameras are rolling, multiple reports suggest that filming has continued during his hospitalization, meaning fans may eventually witness this heartbreaking saga unfold on screen, with raw footage of a weakened Kody battling illness, juxtaposed against the cold reality of Robyn maneuvering to secure property. A Contrast that could easily become one of the most explosive and talked about storylines in reality TV history, and the timing could not be more poignant, because after years of fans accusing Kody of favoring Robyn, we are now seeing the potential consequences of that favoritism in its most extreme form, as the other wives, who gave decades of their lives to him, are left scrambling while Robyn allegedly consolidates power, and social media has erupted with hashtags like #JusticeForJanelle and #RobynExposed, with many calling for legal investigations into the alleged property deed transfers, fearing that if Robyn has truly managed to secure the land in her name, she could sell it, profit off it, or pass it down exclusively to her own children, effectively erasing the contributions of the other wives and their children entirely, which would be not only unjust, but also devastating for the family's future generations, and this prospect has reportedly sparked anger among the Brown children themselves, with sources claiming that some of Janelle's and Christine's older kids are ready to challenge Robyn legally if she attempts to cut them out, setting the stage for a possible intergenerational feud that could keep the family fractured for decades. And while all this plays out, fans cannot ignore the tragic human side of the story. Kody, once a larger-than-life figure, is now described as frail, pale, and struggling to hold on to hope, with Robyn by his side in the hospital. Not as the doting wife she portrays on camera, but as a woman allegedly calculating her next legal move, a juxtaposition that is as heartbreaking as it is enraging, because if true, it means the man who once promised equality, unity, and faithfulness to all his wives has ended up being remembered not for love but for betrayal, sickness, and greed. And the saddest part of all is that the dream of sister wives, once about building a plural family that defied the odds, has crumbled into a nightmare of property theft, legal battles, and mistrust, a story so twisted that fans are now speculating whether TLC will even continue the show beyond this scandal, or if this is the natural end of the saga, where the man who started it all may lose not only his health, but his family's legacy, leaving behind a cautionary tale rather than an inspirational one. And yet, in the darkest corners of fandom, there is also the morbid curiosity that maybe this is exactly the ending Sister Wives was always headed toward, because the seeds of favoritism, inequality, and resentment were planted long ago, and now they have blossomed into full-blown disaster, with Robyn cast as the villain, Kody as the fallen patriarch, and the other wives as the wounded survivors left to pick up the pieces of a dream that was never truly theirs to begin with, making this one of the most shocking and unforgettable chapters, not only in Sister Wives history but in reality television as a whole, because when viewers look back, they will not remember Kody's golden curls blowing in the wind, his grand speeches about love and unity, or even the early days of laughter and hope. They will remember the hospital bed, the cancer diagnosis, the property deeds, and the betrayal that defined the end of an era.